We have a vision to be an international university of choice, anchored in Africa, dynamically shaping the future. Our mission is to inspire our community to transform and serve humanity through innovation and the collaborative pursuit of knowledge. To fully embrace the digital universe which we are beginning to inhabit, this is what we do at the University of Johannesburg. UJ, where the whole is far greater than the sum of its parts.
So our next speaker is Mathew Moyo. He is the Chief Director of Library and Information Science at the University of the Northwest in South Africa. And Mathew is going to be talking to us about the future of research in libraries. And we look forward to hearing from you, Mathew. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Maria. And thanks a lot to Chris for that brief and precise presentation. I hope to make use of some of the minutes that Chris left for us. So there we go. This is the topic, the sub-theme as given by Maria there. But let me also start by congratulating you, Maria, and your team for hosting this conference. We have seen a lot of cancellations due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but you decided with your team that you proceed with this conference in this fashion, and I want to congratulate you for that. This is my topic, shifts and changes in the research landscape. And I also want to look at challenges and opportunities that are presented to the librarian. This is just a quick outline of what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to look at the research trends in terms of the shifts and changes that have taken place or that are happening in the research landscape. Then I would also want to look at the role or the response of the librarian to those changes in the research landscape. Then I would also want to look at challenges and, of course, opportunities. And I'll end this brief presentation with some few thoughts around the topic. So the quest to find solutions to ever-growing societal challenges has resulted in the exponential increase in global research. And these challenges include, but not limited to, the aspect of poverty, unemployment, disease, development and underdevelopment, and of course, inequality. Coupled with increased research is the issue of competition to find solutions by countries and institutions. Research efforts have yielded positive results, which have resulted in development of organizations and countries. And I want also to say that in the past, most research efforts were characterized by length timeframes before meaningful results could be realized. Research turnaround times have since shifted, largely due to increased technology, collaboration, and improved communication. So the purpose of this presentation really, or the focus, is to determine those shifts and trends in the research landscape, and I'll then try to locate the position or the role of the librarian in those changes. So here are the shifts and changes in general. So the first question to ask is, what has changed in research? And basically, it is the way knowledge is generated. It has shifted in a great way. The way knowledge is communicated, it has also shifted. And we have witnessed a lot of collaboration in order helps to prevent knowledge apartheid. In some cases, you see up to 20 authors collaborating on a single paper. And related to the issue of collaboration is multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research. We have also seen a lot of interest in terms of funding of research and the support that we have also received from the industry. We have further witnessed policy changes, policy shifts in view of the changes in the research landscape. And there has also been more focus on master's and doctoral research output. Of course, the issue of data management also gaining momentum. You talk about online data gathering, analysis, which is more computerized, data literacy, data repositories, data rights management, and of course, digital humanities. Then, of course, the role of the research librarian has been redefined in light of all these changes. The way science is conducted in terms of especially researches in human and social sciences has also changed. You want to look at ethics in that discipline or in those areas. There are a lot of changes. In the past, there was nothing like researchers in human and social sciences being asked to comply with ethical requirements. And also research force due to the influence of the Industrial Revolution. We can also talk about ranking, which is quite a big thing in modern research, ranking of institutions and countries. And we can also talk about metrics. So this is how research was conducted in the past. If you look at literature review, in the olden days, you would require quite substantial sources of information in terms of print books. But this has since changed. All you need is a gadget that is connected to your internet so that you can access your research online. Of course, you still need those print books to support or complement what you find online. What then is the role of the librarian in a changed environment, research environment for that matter? And how has the librarian responded to the changes? Generally, we can say the librarian has managed to reposition the library as indispensable and integral to the research endeavor. We also see that the research function has been included in most cases to the strategic statements of libraries. We are also witnessing a lot of partnerships in terms of the research process, how it's conducted. And the library or the librarian is also providing a wide range of research services, which include but not limited to research impact, advisory, where to publish for maximum impact, research infrastructure. We talk about the library as a publisher in terms of the open journal systems that are in place. We also talk about research commons and technology commons that are in place in our libraries. And we can further talk about research collections in both electronic and print, and all the other e-research services that are on offer in our libraries as response to the changing environment. So basically, this is the research life cycle. And as librarians, we have perfectly located our roles in terms of our contribution to research. And these are some of the efforts that are in place in our libraries to support research. As librarians, we have also championed the issue of celebratory events like your World Open Access Week, which is coming in October, local research weeks on campuses, and of course, research-related workshops that are happening, whether online or physically on our campuses. Kela identified 5 areas of focus, which include institutional repositories, open access, bibliometrics and enhancement of research impact, support for faculty research, as well as support for graduate students, and of course, research data management. This was a study which was conducted in Australia in 2015. And we are witnessing a growth in terms of our support for these areas. Data literacy is one such area that we are also focusing on. Ethics literacy, we are assisting with ethical documents of our researchers. Information literacy, visual literacy, and other literacies related to research. Then we are also making available funding to support open access, and in most cases, this relates to the payment of article processing charges from our library budgets. Then here are some challenges that we face as librarians in the new research landscape. Skills and ability to adapt to change. And at times there are issues to do with inferiority complexes. There are also time constraints in terms of balancing new and existing roles, and sooner or later fatigue and burnout will kick in. Then of course, as we handle requests from researchers, we also have to deal with the issue of technical jargon and or scientific and legal language that is in use. Librarians also at times are quite invisible within the purview of research. There's also lack of enabling environments in terms of our infrastructure. You look at digitization equipment, they can be quite expensive in some cases and way beyond what is available in terms of library budgets. Then in some cases, we also lack policies, funding, and staffing issues. Then at times also there is a lack of role clarification, which in most cases is quite ambiguous in terms of who is responsible for what between the library and possibly the research office, IT, and the researchers themselves. Of course, I've already alluded to this point, high costs of infrastructure. We would want to establish digital scholarship centers, but because the equipment in some cases is quite costly, most libraries do not afford. And what are then the opportunities that are presented in this new research landscape? We can talk about new positions and responsibilities, which implies diversification of library roles. we have also been presented with opportunities to forge strategic alliances with key stakeholders that should be involved, like the research office, IT, and of course the various research centers on campuses. Then we are also presented with an opportunity to demonstrate value of the library to the parent institution through the support of this critical goal of the university, that is the research. And of course, we are presented with an opportunity to improve the qualifications of our librarians. I think there is adequate justification why we would want our librarians to acquire skills, to acquire more qualifications so that they can also go through research processes as part of their studies to acquire higher qualifications. And of course, we might also start to talk about, in this part of the continent, a slow but cautious move towards faculty status for some of our librarians who are involved with research work. Then some thoughts. Let's then strive to develop a responsive LIS to the ever-changing faculty research needs. And let's strive to guard against knowledge apartheid. I would also challenge the sector to stand up to the demands and invest in skills, invest in education, and do not just support research. Let's partner researchers, write about what we do, present about what we do, and publish articles regarding our experiences as librarians. And going forward, we need also to review the new normal presented by the COVID-19 pandemic and ask ourselves how we should continue to develop support mechanisms for research in particular, in the same way we are doing with teaching and learning. I think Prof. Devet earlier on spoke about our emphasis being much more on teaching and learning, particularly during this period of the COVID-19 pandemic. So once we are able to do this, I think this will further enhance our hero status. I think that's where I end it. Back to you, Prof. Mariah.
Matthew, thank you so much. You touched on so many interesting topics, which I'm sure we're going to discuss further in the questions and answer session.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.